Hello, in today's video we will take a look at what is footprint, what it consists of, and what footprint indicates. A footprint is basically a modified candlestick that provides information a traditional candlestick chart doesn't show. In footprint chart, we can see executed transactions. It allows us to identify which side was more aggressive during a given time period and at which price levels, as well as how the price reacted. A footprint chart shows us at which price level within a given candle the highest volume was traded, how strong the dominance of each side was, and how the market reacted to this activity. As I mentioned, a footprint is based on executed transactions, which means it reveals the aggressive participants in the market. Once the price hits a limit order and the aggressor fills it, the trade appears on the footprint in form of high volume, delta, etc. However, if the limit order is not filled and it's only form of manipulation, the footprint will not show corresponding volume simply because no trade was actually executed. So, a footprint is basically an X-ray that reveals the activity inside each candle, down to smallest detail. There are several things you can monitor with footprint, but in our template we focus on the following aspects. First, bid, which is on the left side of the footprint. The bid shows the number of sold contracts. In other words, it reflects the aggressive sellers and their selling pressure. The ask, on the other hand, shows the number of bought contracts, reflecting the aggressiveness of the buyers and their buying pressure. Then we have delta profile. The delta profile shows which side was more aggressive at given price level. Delta is calculated using formula number of buyers minus number of sellers. So if at specific level is, for example, bid 5 and ask 10, the delta will be plus 5, because we have 10 buyers minus 5 sellers, so we have positive delta of 5. If we have level with 20 contracts on the bid side and 5 contracts on the ask side, delta will be minus 15. This means there was more aggressive selling than buying. The greater the dominance of the specific side is, the lighter the delta profile will appear. So if there is a lot of aggressive buyers and a few of aggressive sellers, we will see huge positive green delta. If there is a lot of sellers but few buyers, we will see huge negative red delta. Then we have volume area, which is this orange box inside of each candle. As you already know from the volume module, the volume area shows the part of the candle where 70% of total volume was traded. In the price versus participants video, we will be working extensively with the volume area, so it's good to know what volume area actually is. Then we have total delta for the specific candle, max delta for the specific candle, min delta for the specific candle, and volume for the specific candle. The delta shows which side was more aggressive. Not at specific level, but across the entire candle. That's why it's called delta per candle, because this delta shows the total delta for the specific time period. So if we use 5 minutes candle, total delta right there will show you whether the buyers were more aggressive during those 5 minutes or sellers. And that's the main difference between delta profile and delta per candle. Delta profile shows you the aggressivity on the specific level, and delta per candle shows you the aggressivity for specific time period. That's why it's on the lower side of the chart, because it measures specific candle. Then we have delta maximum and delta minimum. Delta max, delta maximum shows how much buying pressure was exerted during a given time period, while delta minimum shows how much selling pressure was exerted during that same period. This means that if we have candle where delta min is 686, it indicates that during these 5 minutes, at some point, the sellers were dominant by 686 contracts, while the aggressive buyers were at one point during these 5 minutes dominant only by 43 contracts. So this represents the maximum dominance of each side reached during the given time period. Max delta will always be positive and min delta will always be negative. So the final delta does not always show the hidden strength. If we know that during the candle one side was extremely dominant, but the overall delta eventually balanced out, we still know there was pressure and we can use our advantage. Then we have imbalance. Sell and buy imbalance. Sell imbalance indicates the dominance over buyers and Buy imbalance indicates dominance over sellers. Imbalances are covered in more depth in the following videos, so definitely go watch it. And then we have volume profile for the specific candle. The volume profile shows how the volumes were distributed through the specific candle. So this is the footprint and the aspects we monitor. On our website you can find related videos and the complete crypto order flow course, including free PDF materials. The entire course is organized into individual modules, and each module contains several videos focusing on the specific topics. For example, topic order flow has its own module called order flow, and there's subtopics like what is footprint, what is delta, what is value area, what is price versus participants, and everything related to order flow. So it's easy for you to learn. I'll leave you a link in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching.